Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Labyrinth and Moon. This game taking place here on, Ruins of Ashara 2.1. Let's go ahead and get this game going as we see Labyrinth spawning as the blue undead on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have Moon spawning as the yellow night elf. 2-minute mark. Let's see what the heroes are going to be. Ancient of War followed by a Moonwell with no altar of elders until the third wisp means, or fourth wisp means that it should be a Fire Lord. So Moon perhaps going for that Fire Lord opening. Meanwhile, Labyrinth going for that classic Undead Death Knight. Undead Death Knight should make his way out onto the battlefield faster than that Fire Lord based on timing right about now. Meanwhile, Fire Lord is going to get hired up at the 2-minute 15-second mark as the players are already on their way. Trying to train up a fourth archer here with one archer already off. No, sorry, that's a wisp. Is there an archer out there somewhere? No, there isn't, but there are simply wisps all across the map as the Fire Lord summoned up a lava spawn, and now that lava spawn is going to make its way down here as the Fire Lord going to be doing harassment. Alright, what is this? Fire Lord harassment during all of this time as we're seeing a little bit of damage getting racked up here. Alright, damage getting placed down. Are we going to see perhaps a ghoul get taken down here? Little bit of death coil burnout as Moon already has a good amount of experience going straight after that Forest Troll Shadow Priest, but it could end up getting surrounded if he is not careful. Fire Lord trying to keep up with that last unit there. It is going to get taken down by the creeps as the Fire Lord turns back around and says, you know what, that ghoul looks rather tempting too. Alright, ghoul needs about 2 or 3 more shots, but back on Blight, it should be fine, especially with, well, the Death Knight and all of these other units nearby. Ancient of War back across here. We're looking at the Fire Lord, perhaps going to try and pick up that Gloves of Haste a little bit later. There is still creeping away from all of the action here as Moon is creeping with these lava spawns pretty effectively and just splitting his attention between 2 separate locations. Anyone who's tried to do this knows how difficult it can be at times as the archers are now looking for a new place to try and do a little bit of creeping. Alright, Ancient of War off over here. There's a lava spawn. The timing is going to be key. Fire Lord going to come back around, perhaps drop a lava spawn here as well, and we are already off to the races for that damage. These lava spawns won't get a chance to split once more, and their damage output will, well, their damage will be sorely missed as this Ancient of War is taking quite a bit of damage. Gloves of Haste, not quite sure. Yep, gonna go ahead and pick that up, head back across over here as the Ancient of War still taking a little bit of damage here. Meanwhile, off to the north, Death Knight does get that Forest Troll Shadow Priest back, does have a little bit of mana on that Death Knight now as this Forest Troll Warlord will get taken out. Alright, lava spawns are still doing their split thing again, and they're going to make their way off to the north here, perhaps try and clear out a relatively easy green creep camp and get to level 3. That would make a lot of sense right now. Well, no, Fire Lord already getting up to level 3. Not quite sure what happened there. Perhaps a detonation on some wisps or something else as another lava spawn going to get summoned up here. Alright, here we go. That is a lot of lava spawns, a lot of damage. Forest Troll Shadow Priest wants to get in some abolish magics as we see a Death Coil now land on that Fire Lord. Those Rune Bracers are definitely going to help reducing the amount of damage that the hero takes as all of that blight, all the blight off to the north was cleared up, so that was a detonation there. Lava Spawn's going to go ahead and try and charge on into the Forest Troll Shadow Priest inside the base here as this one Lava Spawn is just trying to get in some damage and perhaps maybe able to get in a split as well. Alright, one low hit point ghoul getting taken down. Death Coil finishes off an archer. Nerubian Tower nearly coming online as we're looking at perhaps another Acolyte going to get taken down here. Alright, a couple of shadow melded units going to turn back around. Acolyte going to try and finish off. No, there's a lava spawn split instead as the ghouls are going to retreat back. As the lava spawns split, they do heal up a little bit of damage as we're looking at the lava spawns now go after this ghoul here. Ghoul down to 94 hit points. Is it going to get taken down? 1 or 2 more shots should finish it off, and it does get the death coil in time by Labyrinth. Labyrinth able to hold on to that ever so barely as we're looking at this lava spawn trying to finish off this Acolyte off over here. It looks like he's going to be able to back around again. All right, summoning up units constantly. 1 or 2 more shots. Acolyte regeneration on Blight for the win there. All right, so Moon with a strong opening and now has a Panda as his second hero. So Panda really playing with fire here with Breath of Fire and Lava Spawns and Incinerate. Firelord also with plenty of mana as the attacks should be coming in quickly. How much damage can get racked up here? That is the question, as we are looking at some piercing damage coming across the other side as well. Are we going to look at some Incinerate damage? There's a new Lava Spawn as well, as the Haunted Gold Mine is severely getting pressured once again. Lich is getting trained, or is already trained up here, as we're looking at the Breath of Fire trying to blow over some of these units, and the Haunted Gold Mine, well, has been cancelled once more. More damage getting racked up against perhaps another Acolyte could get taken down. That Lava Spawn hanging in the back will get cleaned up, and this is feeding a bit of experience to LabyRinth, though, which is not what Moon wants to do. Moon always has a backup plan, and his backup plan right now is to also set up an expansion. Panda in position to help clear out the Centaur Outrunner creep camp and the Centaur Sorcerer creep camp here. It will give level 2. Meanwhile, Lich is now finally creeping alongside that Death Knight, as Undead is staying at Halls of the Dead for a little while longer, training up some Acolytes to haunt this gold mine before teching on to Tier 3. Alright, Dryads with Abolish Magic. Are we looking at Crypt Fiends getting trained up? The graveyard is there, but I don't see any Crypt Fiend production yet. Panda actually just shy of level 2. Perhaps the Firelord came over, took some of that precious experience, as we are now going into artificial Nightfall. That's one thing, the overlay that still needs to be fixed, that the timing is not quite right. You don't see night when the Moonstone is being used. Not quite sure what that is about. Anyways, coming back around here, a little bit of damage. Staff of Preservation for the save on a unit. Panda now trying to blow over or take down this Haunted Gold Mine. Archers are all shadow melded as we see a Scroll of Town Portal for a tactical retreat. Skeletal minions getting a little bit cleaned up there. There's a Breath of Fire, and well, that Breath of Fire timing, if it was a level 2 Breath of Fire, perhaps could have blown over the Haunted Gold Mine right as it was about to be summoned, which would have been a big slap in the face. However, Brewmaster is still sitting at level 1. All right, Haunted, Death Coil, Frost Nova quickly finishing off one group of, or one wisp right there, or 2 wisps right there. Frost Nova, I believe, taking down one, and then the Death Coil taking down another, perhaps. So we're sitting on 2. Oh, well, no, it actually looks like just only 1 wisp was taken out. I take it back. Wow, come on, stop rolling. All right, coming back around here, we do see Spirit Towers, and with that higher piercing damage, with a very fast attack rate, is extremely effective against these Dryads in particular. Meanwhile, Obsidian statues are joining in on the battlefield as we see ghouls coming off of the lumber line to perhaps do a little bit of a charge. The Panda only being at level 1 is a major setback, and the Firelord not being at level 4 either means that those Incinerate auto attack isn't nearly as powerful, so you're not going to get as many of those explosions and being able to just try and go infinite with all of that there. Forest Troll Warlord going to try and take down this Ancient of War. No real luck here, as the Ancient of War is being repaired, and Panda will stay at level 2. Firelord comfortably staying at level 3. Hello there, hello there. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for tuning in as Moon sets up a second expo. No big surprise. Moon never liked a gold mine, never saw a gold mine. He didn't want to entangle here in WarCraft 3, trying to clear that up now. Centaur Outrunner going to get cleared up here. Firelord trying to pick up some items. Not quite sure what he picked up there. Panda is going to finish off this level 5 and level 4 creep. Is it going to give him level 3? It is. And that will be level 2 Breath of Fire, which he's been desperately needing to deal with that large number of ghouls that we're constantly seeing. All right, more Razor Medicine Man here. Going to go ahead and try and engage. A lot of damage onto that Fire Lord. I don't see a healing ward being placed down. Oh, the healing ward's placed up on the high ground. And, well, all of the Quill Boars are fighting away from it, oddly enough. All right, going to go ahead and tap that healing ward, take it down, and go after the Razor Medicine Man. And now, Staff of Preservation bringing the Goblin Shredder back home as Moon is, well, light on lumber. All right, Lich and Death Knight now coming in from behind. Units are going to perhaps turn around and try and fight. And here we are. Here we go. Try to finish off the last of these couple of units as now we have a high ground advantage for Moon. Moon with high ground advantage, perhaps going to try and put some pressure onto some of these units here as the Obsidian statues were trailed in the back just a little bit. Dryads could get in some attacks to try and slow down that Lich, but the Death Knight does have plenty of mana. Death Coil is most likely inbound as that Lich does have a decent amount of hit points with the Pure Up to Vitality and that Circlet of Nobility. All right. Moon is still playing an aggressive, creeping game. This is a dangerous proposition, going after a red creep camp after you just saw your opponent. All right, so there is a wisp right there. Death Knight does come across and see this. What's going to go down? Enraged Water Elementals Granite Golem cannot be stolen by the Death Knight here as the ghouls are now going to be making their way across. All right, Brewmaster could head back off to the north, but no, a little bit too dangerous of a risk versus reward situation here as the units are now retreating back. Death Knight may be able to finish off some of these Enraged Elementals and get some of that precious experience away as the Ancient of War is still holding on to a bit of, well, trying to hang on in this fight. Second Entangled Gold Mine nearly operational. Death Knight toying with the idea of clearing out the same Granite Golem Creep camp that Moon tried to do earlier. But LabyRinth, well, if he does it, it would be a major slap in the face to Moon. So Moon says, you got to respect my army right now, and that's what's happening here. Deathcoil to try to save a ghoul as both sides are suffering a little bit of losses. All right, I'm going to see a ghoul death there. Yes, we are. Frost Nova on the Brewmaster, and more damage could get racked up. No additional mana on that Brewmaster, though, as the Dryads are now need to focus back, as the Crypt Fiends are able to focus down quite a bit of damage onto a Dryad or two. All right, the damage on both sides exchanging blows. Panda and Firelord are pretty much out of mana. Obsidian statues still have plenty, and this is going to be the problem with so many Obsidian statues here. They're just going to constantly be able to train out more. Dust of Appearance used to try and take down those Crypt Fiends that are trying to burrow and stick their head in the sand. 64 supply compared to 62, and all that is happening are both sides, our heroes, are just leveling up. Level 4, level 3 going up against level 4, level 3 as both armies are suffering severe heavy casualties. LabyRinth down to 58 supply, but it is Moon who is now trying to retreat back as we see the Scroll of Town Portal used in order to get away. This is going to turn into an opportunity for LabyRinth to clear out this creep camp here. And I'm not quite sure why the Destroyer isn't at least going after these Enraged Elementals. He's just kind of following, not attacking or engaging at all. All right, yeah, that's just strange. Yeah, the Destroyer might actually be on follow instead of actually part of the control group to attack there. And now finally moving out across the map. Yeah, I don't think Enraged Elementals are magic immune. All right, Moon's new hidden base has been found as the Death Knight trying to lead the charge here. Death Knight picking up the Kagar's Pipe of Insight, which is a huge item drop as it gives longer use for those Obsidian statues who often run out of mana. Now, with an additional 0.5 mana regeneration per second, those Obsidian statues may not need to transform into Destroyers and constantly being useful. Also, the Lich and the Death Knight themselves will not drain the mana off of the Obsidian statues nearly as quickly. It is a beautiful item for LabyRinth's army, and maybe what exactly he needs to challenge Moon and his double expansions. All right, both sides fighting again. We're looking at a little bit of damage. Druid of the Claw, is he going to get taken out? No. Staff of Preservation at the last minute. No big surprise there, but Moon's Expo is going to end up falling. Abominations also joining in on the battle here. We know how powerful the Abominations Disease Cloud can be, even after that nerf. I think before, the Abomination's disease cloud like lasted somewhere in the realm of like 4 minutes. Pretty much an Abomination could run amongst a bunch of dryads, walk away, and then come back and just sneeze on them all later, and they would all be taken down. Pit Lord as the third and final hero. Pit Lord, well, it is technically an undead unit in WarCraft 3, able to get healed from a death coil. I know all the World of Warcraft purists will say otherwise, because he's a demon. As now we're getting things underway here. All right, Expo. This is the downside when you do have a lot of Expos. You have multiple points of vulnerability, and that's exactly what LabyRinth is doing. LabyRinth's trying to force a fight here, as we're going to see an engagement now. Level 5 on that Death Knight, leading the charge. Level 4 on the Panda, and level 4 on that Fire Lord here, as the units are retreating away. Are we going to see a Frost Nova or anything like that? There's a little bit of Devour magic, and we're going to see some piercing damage coming back across the other side here. There's a Death Coil, Staff of Preservation for the save. Fire Lord quickly trying to retreat back away. Are we going to see the death of a Druid of the Claw? Yes, we are. There goes one. Burning through a Scroll of Town portal and a Druid of the Claw, getting a little bit of experience that way. Pit Lord name was Destroy Math. Yep. Oh. All right, LabyRinth's, yeah, Pit Lord. Destroy your math. Anyways, Pit Lord going after the Ancient of War here. Dryad's really not going to be able to challenge. Surprisingly, there is no disease cloud on the Abomination. It's just one of those abilities that you somehow just naturally get, and it is able to do large amounts of damage. Crypt Fiend trying to stay alive, does get the Death Coil heal, trying to burrow, quickly gets taken down, but why a sacrifice, since their Dust of Appearance was placed down already. Druid of the Claw down to 150 hit points. Is he going to get Staff of Preservation back out or focus down? Difficult to say. Druid of the Claw actually able to get in some good swipes against some other units, as the Druid of the Claw still alive after all this time, finally taken down here as the Destroyers are forced to retreat back away from those Dryads. Breath of Fire still pushing on through here. Obsidian Statues taking quite a bit of damage as the Destroyers are trying to finish off some of the Druid of the Claws that are hiding and getting tucked away. Crypt Fiend still trying to stay alive there. Another gets taken down. I believe that was a little bit of auto attack splash damage. As we're looking at, oh, that is Soul Burn as the ability there, trying to shut things down here. Hippogriff now going after some of the Destroyers, and that one Hippogriff and coupled with the Dryads are just finishing off the Destroyers out of the skies. The LabyRinth now down to 46 supply compared to Moon's 62 over 90, as there's still a tactical retreat. Panda doesn't have enough mana for a Breath of Fire here, but I'm sure he has his eyes set on that Obsidian Statue. Obsidian Statue needs a little bit more damage, and no, Panda breaks off from it. Nope, it looks like LabyRinth is going to give it to him anyways, as both sides are still fighting here. All right. What is going to go down next? Expo off on the south side. That was pressured down and destroyed. So it is 2 bases to do bases once again. Wow. This is why casters often have observers for them. They can focus on the mini-map while I focus on what's going on in the main fight. Didn't even see when this base was taken out. All right. Coming back through. What is happening? What is progressing here? Now, Moon actually took this Expo off at the 9 o'clock position, and it has significantly less gold than the north and south positions here. So this one has, I believe, had a 12,000, if not 12,500 gold. So this gold mine here has about 5 minutes of mining less than LabyRinth, even though they established those gold mines both at the beginning portion of the game. Let's go ahead and continue to engage here. Crypt Fiend's able to web down many of those Hippogriffs, but it doesn't really matter if the Panda is able to get into position, get in all of those Breaths of Fire. Staff of Preservation for the save. Moon is trying to continue to punish here, as the Dryads are just getting cleaned up by those Crypt Fiends, and reinforcements are coming in from the back. Pit Lord gets up to level 3 here. We are looking at a Cleave and perhaps Howl of Terror. There's level 2 Cleave now being able to slice and dice through many of those units, as the Panda wants to try and Breath of Fire more units, and another Crypt Fiend gets blown over again. That Brewmaster is just an exterminator right now, taking down and squashing all of those Crypt Fiend bugs. As the Fire Lord is in trouble, he gets taken down as well. A sudden reversal here. LabyRinth taking down the level 5 Fire Lord as the Lich is continuing to just try and, well, minimize losses to deny experience across here. We do see the Destroyer down to 160 hit points. He's going to be forced to back up 58 supply compared to 59. All right. Are we looking at a resurrection? Yes, Moon resurrecting the Fire Lord the old-fashioned way. Level 5 Fire Lord will take some time to head back out onto the battlefield. Meanwhile, Acolyte's gonna try and clear out this 3 o'clock position creep camp here, knowing that the main gold mines have been mined out. Ancient of Wonders, well, starting a building and purposely drawing aggro from the Centaur Outrunner and the Centaur Sorcerer to attack these Acolytes. If that was on purpose, Moon, that was absolutely brilliant, forcing the engagement. I believe an Acolyte or two no Acolytes were lost, but at least it put in a little bit of pressure earlier on, catching his opponent off guard. Moon sitting at 71 supply, LabyRinth sitting at 62, a Tree of Eternity already walking over to that southern position and will be mining here shortly. Meanwhile, Moon's Expo only has 3.5 minutes of mining left. Meanwhile, LabyRinth has about 9 minutes of mining to go, as the Expo of LabyRinth going to quickly get canceled here, and perhaps these Acolytes are just going to all get cleaned up. Panda, Breath of Fire blowing over pretty much 2 of them, as this last Druid of the Claw lets one back away. Moon's Southern Expo or Southern Tree of Eternity is now under a lot of duress here. Abominations, Destroyers, Crypt Fiends trying to put pressure, trying to take it down, but the Tree of Eternity does have that improved armor, and well, this is a weird situation. Staff of Preservation is just going to bring it to the Tree of Eternity closer to the undead army, so Staff of Preservation not going to work nearly as well. Crypt Fiend's going to cause some problems here. Brewmaster does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Crypt Fiend's trying to back away, but they're going to get squashed down, as well as the Hippogriffs are looking for Destroyers to try and just peck at. There goes a Breath of Fire again. Potion of Invulnerability coming to an end here. Brewmaster could end up in a little bit of trouble, as Druids of the Claw are getting in front of that Abomination, causing some problems, forcing a Dark Ritual to get more mana onto that Lich and to prevent any losses. All right, a couple of easy auto attacks and to finish off another Hippogriff there, as the Lich escapes away at 600 hit points. Death Knight nearing level 6, Lich sitting at level 5, Pit Lord sitting at level 3, 56 supply compared to 66, as this Expo here does not have anything mined from it just quite yet. All right, units are trying to make their way back across here. Are we going to see some damage? There's some detonations. Pit Lord trying to clear things up, perhaps take down some of these units, as the Dryads are going to be coming across here in just a moment. Hippogriffs trying to charge on in. There's a couple of webs, as the Pit Lord is getting body blocked, slow poison, all of that. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, a lot of dead Crypt Fiends here in just a second, as one burns from that Breath of Fire damage over time. Both sides playing once more. Playing with fire. Fire Lord and Brewmaster really heating things up for LabyRinth. Moon has the larger supply, but needs to get this base mining, and now that he's now standing on stronger footing, as his last Expo only has a minute left. Meanwhile, Lich is trying to back away here, and LabyRinth is going to actually be a lot of trouble if he is not careful. He needs to find a way to start mining from this 3 o'clock Expo, but all of the pressure from Moon is diverting his attention elsewhere. All right, there's a little Devour Magic there. Destroyer's getting in a little bit of splash damage. There's some Breath of Fire. Units trying to retreat back. That is a lot of Hippogriffs to try and dive in onto all of these units. All right, meanwhile, the Pit Lord getting surrounded, getting taken down, and the Fire Lord also lost as well. So trading a level 3 Pit Lord for a level 5, a good exchange there, as the Brewmaster now gets up to level 6. So we have Earth, Storm, and Fire now for the Brewmaster's ultimate ability. Meanwhile, Death Knight now has level 3 Unholy Aura, will be able to move around the map much more quickly. More repairs are underway. Abomination obsidian statues are off over here. That 150% natural regeneration on the obsidian statue. On the obsidian statue should be, should help it stay alive just a little while longer. All right, what's coming back here? Panda, the Staff of Preservation, and is now in this fight here. Comes in with Earth, Storm, and Fire. And was it a Staff of Preservation? No, it was just a teleportation inside, as Earth, Storm, and Fire now trying to engage. All right, anytime your opponent has an ultimate ability that is on a timed life that is rather short, sometimes it is just best to run, as is the case right now. Storm trying to pick up units, trying to cause a little bit of divide and conquer here, as the Obsidian statue taking a little bit of damage. Death Knight now getting picked up once again, and Storm has just been using Cyclone to try and pick up and shut down that Death Knight, take him out of the equation. Earth and Storm still, or Earth and Fire still trying to make their way back over to that Crypt Fiend. Is that Tome of Strength going to get picked up now? Yeah, LabyRinth picking up a late Tome of Strength from some creep camps, as the Panda does reposition where Earth originally was. All right, while Moon is still mining from this base, he is getting the advantage as the tables have turned. LabyRinth now, the one with about 4 minutes of mining left if he's not careful. Moon gonna lose a Goblin Shredder there, as the Death Knight now leading the charge again. Death Knight's regeneration has to be, well, seemingly otherworldly, between hero regeneration coupled with Ring of Regeneration, coupled with Unholy Aura, and the bonus of the strength. That's just a lot of damage, or a lot of natural damage recovery. It's gotta, yeah. Just difficult to take down that Death Knight. Both sides still fighting their way through. Death Coil airmailed to that Hippogriff, taking it down once more, as the Pit Lord gonna open things up with a Howl of Terror, greatly reducing the amount of damage across all of those units here. Staff of Preservation for the save. Breath of Fire racking up more damage though, as Druid of the Claw gonna get cleaned up here. All right, LabyRinth turning things back around. You can see low hit point Druid of the Claw still trying to retreat back here. There's a Death Coil, and there's gonna be another finishing blow once more. Pit Lord sitting at level 3, getting close to level 4, and now going to turn things back around. Crypt Fiends, however, not enough to deal with the number of Dryads that we're looking at, as perhaps some more Devour magic. Are we going to see another death on a lava spawn? Yes, we are. And now Moon's Tree of Eternity is in dire straits. All right, mass repairs are going to be needed. Lich, perhaps with a Frost Nova, it gives level 4 to the Pit Lord here, and now the Tree of Eternity, well, there's another Frost Nova there, taking down the remaining, and LabyRinth's going to back away. LabyRinth taking a big chunk out of Moon now, as Moon doing a tactical chase to try to pick off and, well, try to even up the fight later on. 45 supply compared to 60. Moon has the larger army, and what is this? Moon also entangling this gold mine here at the 9 o'clock or at the 3 o'clock spot, saying, if you're not going to take that gold mine, I might as well take it. LabyRinth may have thought that he was winning out in this fight here because he was able to take down that Expo, not realizing that Moon has already taken the 3 o'clock spot one as well. LabyRinth now has 2 minutes of mining left, and now, well, LabyRinth does spot this 9 o'clock Expo. Moon really needs to save this, and it doesn't have 2,000 hit points like that Tree of Eternity, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to try and keep this, keep this Tree of Life around. All right, coming back across here, are we going to see some repairs? Wisp may be able to get off. Wisp may be able to get off some repairs here, as the Fire Lord shows up to the party. Dryads coming in purposely from a different angle to cut off the retreating units. And now Hippogriff is going to get taken down, trying to go after some of those other units there. All right, there goes a quick Frost Nova. Dryads continuing to try and push, as Moon's army is down to 48 supply. And, well, so is LabyRinth. Both sides exchanging blows back and forth. Fire Lord gets up to level 6 now, and he's going to be forced to back away. All right, Moon is still, still has an operational entangled gold mine. There's a Staff of Preservation, doesn't really take anyone home. Actually took him into the wrong position, and we've seen this happen to the best Night Elf players, thinking that the Staff of Preservation is a ticket home, only to, well, bring it closer to the action on accident. There's a Breath of Fire once more. Dryad's going to be coming in around from the side again. Perhaps another Breath of Fire to blow over some of those Crypt Fiends, as those Destroyers are still, well, owning the skies. New Tree of Life being built at the Southern Expo location. Druid of the Claw down to dead, as the auto attack just enough there. All right, Earthstorm and Fire ready to engage once more. Pit Lord could be in trouble. Fire Lord is definitely in trouble, down to 145 hit points. And even with Earthstorm and Fire, the Fire Lord gets taken down. LabyRinth is in dominant control here, at least for now. But, you know, we've seen this change so often and so many times. All right, Pit Lord trying to retreat back. There's a Death Coil to save that Pit Lord as the fight is engaging once more. All right, Cyclone onto the Death Knight. Death Knight, well, I believe that was just a Devour Magic to get back feet on the ground, so to speak, as this Druid of the Claw, well, down to 19 hit points, and it looks like it will end up getting taken down here. A group of Hippogriffs are going to find these Destroyers here, and they might be able to find those Destroyers and cause problems. Lich is out of mana, and without that, well, nope, I take it back. Lich had enough mana after Dark Ritualing another unit there, and gonna be able to save things. We are now see Animate dead on some of the Dryads here to continue the fight. I thought Animate Dead also brought up other units out of the ground if it didn't find anything, but the Animate Dead, the Druid of the Claw, and the Dryad are going to be finishing off this Tree of Life. We are going to be running out of gold here in just a second. Evelyn, do you need help? Okay, let me know when you need help, and I'll come. Actually, preset it to what I think 350 on bake. Full-time dad too. Anyways, Death Knight, Pit Lord gonna easily clean up this Tree of Life down to the south side position. Death Knight. Pit Lord doesn't get to level 5. Lich is still staying at level 6. Lich has level 3 Dark Ritual. And now what is going to go down here? Fire Lord trying to resurrect here. Dryads, both sides fighting. And this is not the place where LabyRinth should be trying to fight against Moon. Moon has a massive amount of Moon Wells to draw from. So he's going to be able to get off plenty of Breath of Fires and plenty of damage there. Bursting down, however, some of those Hippogriffs as the Druid of the Claw purposely staying back here. Brewmaster continuing to fight this battle here. Dryads coming in from behind as well, as both sides are just picking and choosing their fight. There's another Breath of Fire, finishing off an Obsidian statue, just focused down on a target, as the Fire Lord is now back out onto the battlefield as well. Panda could get an easy Breath of Fire off to finish off this, yes, Obsidian statue. And LabyRinth bringing the fight to Moon's base with all of those Moon Wells. I mean, what can I say other than it's in his name? Don't fight there. You saw the Panda just absolutely able to dominate here, as we may see another forced abomination another forced abomination Dark Ritual to try and deny some experience. All right, Lich continuing the fight. There's another Earthstorm and Fire, and well, there's the pickup by the Lich. Death Knight forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away. All right. An interesting point. Fire Lord does have an Orb of Venom. Haunted Goldmine trying to be reestablished here at that 3 o'clock spot. The battle for gold and resources really happening here on the ruins of Ashara, as Earthstorm and Fire is still coming, still operational again. All right, coming back through. More fighting getting underway. Abominations trying to chase after some Dryads in the back. Dryads doing a little bit of a dance. Pit Lord gets up to level 5. So level 7, level 5 versus a level 6, level 7. Who's going to come out on top? LabyRinth at 33 supply compared to 23 on Moon. But it's really going to come down to Micro as the Lich falls at level 6. All right, a Lich falls, Abomination falls, and, well, Breath of Fire blowing over an Acolyte or two as well. Pit Lord and Death Knight going after that Brewmaster. Where's that Fire Lord? Fire Lord now slowly making its way back here. Obsidian statue getting chased around, and it's going to finally get taken taken down as well. No more gold left here. Acolyte getting taken out as the Death Knight chasing after, perhaps could actually chase after and take down this Fire Lord here. Brewmaster is the one with the Staff of Preservation though, so that's the reason why they're focusing on that Brewmaster, as the Brewmaster can easily just send the Fire Lord home with the staff. No reason to waste that time there. Death Knight still leading the charge once more. 23 supply compared to 18. Army size of Moon is slightly larger, as we now see the forest come alive and the treants now needing to engage in battle. LabyRinth is getting some gold and, well, can actually move and can start mining a little bit of gold here, as we are looking at unsummoning a couple of buildings. Why did he unsummon the Black Citadel? That is the big question there. Unsummoning the Black Citadel in order to buy perhaps a couple of items in the very end portion of the game. Here we are, Death Knight gonna try and engage. Death Knight is just walking into a nasty fight here. He has no real idea what he's doing except getting the Lich back. Death Knight wants to get a Death Coil off onto that Lich, keep that Lich alive, but that Lich is also very low on mana, doesn't have enough for a Dark Ritual either, as both sides are fighting their way through. Death Knight now down to 388 hit points. No Ring of Regeneration. There's a Death Coil onto the Fire Lord, as the Death Knight is still trying to shake a little bit of damage. Down to 11 hit points. The Potion of Invulnerability was a split second late as the Destroyer gets taken down. Death Knight now needs to get back onto Blight. That's the only way he's going to be regenerating hit points, as the slow poison is starting to take effect here. All right. Oh, there's another Necropolis, so he can still mine a little bit of gold, but no gold being mined there at all. Where is that Acolyte? Acolyte is actually fighting alongside the Pit Lord for no apparent reason, not really offering any help. Death Knight down to 112 hit points here, does have enough mana for a Death Coil, and is he going to be able to Death Coil that Lich to keep it alive? Meanwhile, the Lava Spawn could easily go after. There's a Dark Ritual to prevent any loss of experience there, as the Pit Lord finally goes after this green creep camp here at, at the 37-minute mark of this game. All right. Items given around, a Lich holding all of the items just because, well, the Death Knight is already so vulnerable. We're looking at LabyRinth pretty much out of gold. We're trying to get a Tomb of Relics. Perhaps, I'm not quite sure what we want from that Tomb of Relics at this stage in the game. Meanwhile, the treants, Ancient of Wind, about to knock over and take down this haunted gold mine here. Little bit left. This one Acolyte perhaps gonna start unsummoning the last couple of buildings to perhaps get a Crypt Fiend or two out on the field. Meanwhile, Death Knight is back up to 380 hit points and counting, getting about 4 to 5 hit points a second, I would say. And we see a Frost Nova go down there. All right, what did the Death Knight pick up? Death Knight picked up a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. And what is that Panda hoping to do? Earthstorm and Fire comes online just in time, as we see, well, the Fire Lord trying to engage. Lich could be in trouble. Lich, Death Knight needs another Death Coil there. There's the Death Coil saving the Lich. Fire Lord uses a Potion of Invulnerability and now doesn't incinerate. Death Knight, well, was already able to get the Death Coil off. Both sides are fighting their way through. Fire Lord now looking to back away again. Death Knight very low on hit points, as we're looking at the Lich is still up in the air. Death Knight may be able to get off another Death Coil here, as Earth and Fire and Storm are just trying to finish things off here. There's a 3-unit hero surround. No, not a complete surround. There is another Cyclone there, as the Death Knight and the Pit Lord are in a bit of trouble. It is Earth, Storm, and Fire against 3 undead heroes, but the Death Knight still has plenty of mana. Where is that Fire Lord? He is perhaps in danger, as the Panda now comes back around. Staff of Teleportation. Brewmaster tries to escape away. He does not. Brewmaster falls at level 7. Fire Lord without a Staff of Preservation, unable to save the hero, and the Brewmaster was able to make it back home. That would have been the difference. Meanwhile, the treants are on the march, walking out across the battlefield. Fire Lord, is this going to turn up just straight into a base race? It is. It is going to turn into a straight base race scenario, as the Fire Lord does have Volcano. He does have Volcano. LabyRinth. Moon having Volcano is going to be able to take down the majority of these buildings here and dealing a lot of damage once more. You can see the damage just racking up on all of these buildings. Is there any additional acolytes being able to be summoned? Dryads are poking back the Lich down to the south here. Fire Lord has come to an end as the Treants are now going to try and make their way back over. Meanwhile, the Pit Lord is fighting off over here pretty much by himself as the lava spawn going after the Death Knight and all of these remaining units. All right. Is the Fire Lord going to be able to finish the job? That is the question. There is another Incinerate there onto the Death Knight. Death Knight trying to retreat back away. Frost Nova going down. Fire Lord does have Rune Bracers. Takes a Death Coil, and Fire Lord gets taken down before the Rejuvenation goes off from the Druid of the Claw. The Rune Bracers were not enough, but the Ancient of Winds and these Treants are now trying to make the march over to take down these buildings. All right. No magic damage anywhere. The Treants are just trying to take down the Ziggurats and a couple of these buildings here. There's an Acolyte actually repairing, but there's only 35 gold left as these buildings are slowly getting taken out. Treants could actually eat from the trees to try and stay alive a little while longer as both sides are fighting here. We have a 16 supply army going up against 13. There is one Treant, one Ancient of Lore off to the south here as the Dryads are showing up. One Druid of the Claw getting taken down. More damage getting racked up as LabyRinth, well, has sold some of his items in order to get a little bit more buildings. Is he going to be able to outlast here? That is the question, as the Ancients need to continue their attacking once more. The Dryads should really be focusing onto the Necropolis, dealing damage to buildings that do not have fortified armor. This is all about damage input and output at this stage and point in the game. There is another Necropolis being built off at the north side here as well. So the Acolyte going in between the two bases, trying to make sure that he still has buildings. 9 supply compared to 16. That one Acolyte making all the difference as we're still looking at a little bit of poking, going back and forth. With this said, it looks like LabyRinth may be able to outlast his opponent, as the Dryads are just naturally too afraid of the Lich, the Death Knight, and the Lich and the Death Knight here. All right. Are we going to get some repairs in? Yes, we are. This Necropolis still regenerating hit points. Is a Treant making its way off to the north? No, it is not. And that is the game. LabyRinth outlasting Moon in this 42-minute of just marathon match. Let me know what you guys thought about this game, the ending, in the comments below.